let's get you more breaking updates coming in of a big statement by the Supreme Court on same-sex marriages, saying same-sex ties are not one-off encounters. Big statement coming in as the hearing still continues. The Supreme Court, remember, has said that it will not be adjourning the case, even though the centre said that it is waiting for a response from the states and union territories across the country. Let's go across to legal editor Harish Nair, who's joining us on the broadcast. Harish, this is a big statement coming in. Same-sex ties are not a one-off encounter. That's what the Supreme Court has said today.
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. Big oral remarks coming in from the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud. In fact, the strongest hint yet by far that the Special Marriage Act can be amended to assimilate same-sex couples. Also, the Chief Justice said post-scrapping of 377, that is, decriminalizing homosexual acts, same-sex ties are no longer one-off physical chance encounters, but stable emotional union. This is what the Chief Justice said, and hinted that there's nothing wrong in expanding ambit of the 69-year-old Special Marriages Act 1954 to include same-sex union. The Chief Justice said in 69 years, society and law has evolved a lot. Special Marriage Act only provided a framework, and new concepts which have emerged subsequently can be assimilated, and we are not bound by the original interpretation. It can be expanded. So this is a very significant statement, once again hinting that the Supreme Court, while hearing this 20 petitions seeking legalization of same-sex marriages in India, is considering interpreting the Special Marriages Act 1954. Section 4 of it says that persons can marry if man has completed 21 years of age and the woman completes 18 years of age. So after the amendments being considered by the Supreme Court, man and woman will be called persons, husband and wife will be called spouses, and the minimum age for two male members to marry could be 21, and two women to marry will be 18. So let me read out the verbatim what the Chief Justice said today. The principal premise is that when the legislation was enacted in 1954, the object of the legislation was to provide a form of matrimony for people who are not falling back on their personal laws. They look beyond religious governance of marriage, and that in the last 69 years, our law has really evolved. When you decriminalize homosexuality, you also realize that these are not one-off relationships. These are also stable relationships, not chance encounters anymore, not just physical but emotional too. And by decriminalizing homosexuality, we have not just recognized treating a relationship between consenting adults of the same gender, but we have also recognized that people who are of same sex would be in stable relationships. So very, very significant statement coming in from the Chief Justice. Back to you.
Okay, all right. In the hearing that has been going on until now, the Chief Justice has taken a progressive stand. Like you mentioned, Harish, this is a big indication coming in that there could be amendments to the Special Marriage Act. In fact, the Chief Justice also saying that we are not bound by original interpretation. It can be expanded as over the years society and law has evolved.
Yes, so the Chief Justice said that the law can be amended to bring in same-sex unions. He says that Special Marriage Act only provided a framework wide enough to assimilate subsequent developments. We are not, in fact, reading down a statute, nor amending it. Only with the Parliament can do it, but we will only interpret the law, just expanding the statute in terms of constitutional guarantees of several rights. We are not bound by original interpretation of statute. The question is whether relationship between a man and a woman are so fundamental that we cannot include relationship between same sex. So going by the tone and tenor, the Chief Justice, the bench is giving a strong impression, dropping strong hints that the Supreme Court is all set to amend the Special Marriage Act 1954 to assimilate same-sex couples also, and to legalize same-sex marriages in India. So in that context, a very, very significant remarks coming in from the Chief Justice bench, Chief Justice-led 5-judge Constitution bench. Back to you.
Thank you for joining us with those updates. We have more breaking inputs now coming in.